This year we went with our friends Greg and Melissa to explore a little bit of Europe. And we flew to Zurich and took a train to Lucerne, Switzerland, and spent a couple of days there. It's beautiful. Hey, Duck. Hey, Duck. How you doing? Yeah, no, we have pigeons in here. Here we have a duck.
Or that cat.
Of course, the first time in Switzerland, we had to have fondue, naturally. On the train again. This time we're headed to a small little town called Bad Ragaz, if I'm saying that right. It's exactly what you'd expect a little Swiss town to be like.
Yeah, you take pictures.
We spent the next morning kind of exploring the town and try to get a feel for it, and it is actually a beautiful little town surrounded by mountains. Here we are sitting on a park bench in Switzerland, and our friends Greg and Melissa are trying to find a geocache. It's a little note that something left hidden. You try to find it, and then you decide that you found it, and it's like a game. Absolutely beautiful here. Well, finally we went to Chor, the town of Switzerland, and then got on the Glacial Express. This is one of the great train rides of the world. It takes you up through the Swiss mountains, all along the Alps. It takes about 6 hours. We ended up in a small town called Zermatt, right at the foot of the Matador. This is our room in Zermatt, Switzerland. And of course there's a outside smoking section because a lot of people smoke here. It's incredible. But this is what our little outside room looks like. There's no cars in Zermatt. I don't even think there's a road that leads there. I think you got to come by train or helicopter. You know, to see these great glaciers that are pouring down on them. Oh, here we're taking a picture, but unfortunately the Matador's in clouds behind us. That's always the way it works. This is our hotel. Okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. The bell's finally stopped. And we're walking through the streets of Zermatt. Dragging in there, hiking down here. The ladies are taking the taxi. These little carts are all over the place. And yeah, no cars allowed, but these things are deadly. There you can see it hasn't really woken up yet. This is what it looks like. Degrees. Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, okay, but see you later. Today we're heading out for our riverboat. Finally, a clear shot of the Matador Peak. Why couldn't we have this weather yesterday? Oh, there's me in the Matador Peak. These hang gliders are all over the place up there. I think they fly them up in a helicopter to one of the mountains and drop them off and they hang glide back down, but you see several of these a day going up and coming down. Back in the train again. This time we're heading toward Basel, Switzerland, to get on our riverboat cruise up the Rhine River. It's our ship, this second one in. I mean, the one on the outside there is our ship. It's very common you walk over from one ship to another to get on board. We're in Basel, Switzerland. That's Germany, Switzerland. And over that way is France. They have the railroad in Basel is in Switzerland. Basel's airport is in France. Yeah. Here we are on the boat, the Amadeus Star, a beautiful boat. And this is lunch. Unlike a big cruise ship, we have set breakfast, lunch, and dinner times, and a selection of food. It's very, very fancy. No pizza, no burgers. Very relaxing, sitting up on deck. You know, you put your feet up, you watch the traffic go by, and really it's the first time we were really relaxed. We're not hustling going somewhere. There's a button there, up or down. All right, you want to hit the button?
Yeah. I said, do you have to close it? I said, my husband is in the room. He said, oh yeah, close it. He said, because the air conditioner can go off.
Up.
Oh.
You don't have to hold it.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God.
I was just explaining we're going through a lock. I mean, it's like so close. You could reach out and touch it.
Right. I said, my husband is in the room, not like I left the window open. I said that he might not realize we're going to the lock if he has his eyes closed.
This is how close we are. We're going through a lock now. But there is like, where we're sitting, there's like an inch between the wall of the lock and the side of the boat. I mean, it's incredible.
It really is.
We haven't hit anything yet.
And this boat is amazing. Amazing boat. Oh my God.
There's like 175 people on board and like 75 people taking care of you. So
Yeah, really. It's really amazing. And they kept bringing us so much alcohol last night.
Yeah.
And then Greg said,
I was really aggravated because you get on board and they would charge it for a beer, and I'm like, "Where's this first class? We're spending a fortune on this. They charge you for a beer." And then when we had dinner, but when you have dinner, you can have beer, as much beer and wine as you want until the coffee's served. And once they serve the coffee, then it cuts up, and you can get wrecked in like an hour and a half dinner. Really.
we don't drink till later anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
Now, Strasbourg is in France. Strasbourg sounds like a very German name, and my understanding is that this town went back and forth between France and Germany like 5 times due to wars over the years. But it's a beautiful town to walk through, and they all have these amazing cathedrals, and you wonder, how could they possibly make something like this hundreds and hundreds of years ago? It's incredible. Here we're back on the boat, heading upriver, and it's amazing. You go past so many castles. It's like a castle after a castle. Around every turn is a castle. And what they would do is they would come on, if you turn the speaker on the room, and tell you all about it and so forth. But it's castles and vineyards for miles.
Beautiful here. Look at the mountains here.
Off-road bridge, now that has been built in the first shopping center that has been 8 times as wide. Everybody.
From the castle, we took a bus into downtown Heidelberg, and got to walk around there for quite a while.
Chocolate in the red box. There's a little way to friends darling.
And as usual, back in the boat for lunch. next stop is Cochem, Germany, where we get out, walked around, and did the usual, checking things out. This town floods a lot, and they have had some historic floods. If you look at the wall there, it'll show how high the flood was at different times, different years. But this place was packed. Well, this is one of my favorite towns, Cologne, Germany. The cathedral there is the tallest in the world, and 90% of the town was destroyed by U.S. bombers during World War II. They never hit the cathedral because they were using it as a waypoint. Anyway, unlike Bavaria, we have this big jug of beer. In Cologne, they serve it in like 7-ounce glasses, and they have a coaster. You put it on a coaster, and every time you get a beer, the waitress ticks off another line on the coaster, and you just, oh, here's a beer there. And when you've had enough, you put the coaster on top of the glass, and then she comes by and gives you your bill. Here we are back in the boat, heading up to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And we checked that out. We even got on a boat, went around the canals, and it's like a half onion there. It's an amazing little city, but very, very interesting, very different.
And the harbour, like in Rotterdam, the harbour is moving more towards the North Sea, so there's more space, well, for living. So the old industries are turned in, well, there were sheds there, workshops for the trains, they were torn down, and houses were built bigger. Also the social housing, rent control. And apartments to rent for free at some point at least. That you slice these flat ones, that you slice and you cook them and you add them with the big beans or white beans. We call them
here's what we call these bridges, and it is so close. I mean, it's got to be like an inch from the top of the boat. Look at this.
If it brings people to eat more vegetables, and don't worry, you will. Yeah, and to the right there was a place where people jumped into the water. So today is considered a tropical day. It depends where you're from. If you're from the States and Florida, you might laugh. There were serious warnings and instructions for days and days how to behave with the cold weather. Hydrate. So I should wear my funny hats. wear something, but. We are known to days over 30 degrees, but we'll have 2 or 3 days of that. So you are allowed to jump into the water.
So here we're going by the Anne Frank house.
There's some cool. To the right here you find the flea market, the official flea market. Also center of the Jewish districts. And there's a song called Amsterdam Cries, where once there was laughing. We cry because 75% of the Jews in the Netherlands were massacred in World War II. Before the war, there were just markets on a Sunday as well. The Shabbat has finished. And I worked for a lady who worked.
Well, we walked a little bit around Amsterdam, and the next morning we were getting on a plane heading home. And a little later, this year. We're going to be heading out to meet with our friends, Greg and Melissa, and plan our next trip somewhere else in the world. Looking forward to it.